Podcasts have been existing long before your favorite podcasters decided to jump on it. It's very interesting how only the ones that reeks of controversy trends. It's normal. Take a look at social media right now. People are doing anything and everything to chase clout. So social media now is a numbers game. So I understand why people are doing podcasts the way they're doing it right now. There's several types of podcasts. There are educational podcasts, entertainment podcasts, spiritual podcasts, financial podcasts. There are a ton of them. For every topic that you're interested in, there is a podcast that caters to that interest. So I would suggest that you help yourself out by surfing through the internet to find podcasts that are in line with your personal interests and listen to them and see how it goes from there, as opposed to just thinking that podcasts are made by banger boys and girls on Twitter or people that just want to chase clout and blah blah blah. Without any further ado, I will be giving you a list of podcasts that I swear by. I love them and they're very entertaining to me. I hope you love them as well. Yes, I think I need to sit down for this one. Yep.
I'm a new bitch with a new style, got a new car and a new house.
Hi guys, I'm Mercyblack and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be giving you guys 5 podcasts that I swear by, and I hope you enjoy the contents that these guys put out because they're putting in so much work and they've been doing it for years now, and they're awesome people. We're coming from someone that really loves to talk and loves to listen to people talk. Just in case you can hear noise or sound from the background, excuse this sound and noise from the background. Some people are... So in no particular order, I would start out with the very first one that is very popular here in Nigeria and in Lagos, and everybody loves them. It is I Said What I Said podcast.
It's really depressing watching my friends going out, having a good time, enjoying their own parents' money. And I'm looking for side hustles and stressing on top of my schoolwork so I can support myself. I shouldn't have to worry about any of this. Guys, I need a better mindset, so please advise me.
Your dad has done his best.
Yeah.
He has chosen this is the life I will do for you people.
It's very easy for her to realize that her dad is in a bad mood. Do you think everybody in the house doesn't know that you are also in a mood? Guys, some of that anger that your dad is expressing is actually embarrassment. Us, we have all these ways to phrase our
We had
feelings.
the internet.
You realize that here you're sad.
Yeah, I'm
here you are
anxious.
ashamed.
They
Yeah.
didn't
Here
have
you
that.
You have all these things. Their own comes out in 2 ways. They're either happy or they're
Or
angry.
I Said What I Said podcast is really like a gist chit chat, and sometimes the interview based podcast they discuss about anything and everything that is interesting to them, to life, to relationships, to whatever. They're two beautiful, amazing, intelligent women, and they are funny as well. They're not just gossiping, like they're really talking about like serious things, but basically gisting in a way like it's so relaxed and so laid back. The second podcast is a sex podcast, which is Cocktails and Dirty Discussion, by Kiki and Medina. So I stumbled on this podcast one day. There was one short clip of Medina on another podcast that was trended on Instagram. Actually, I saw it and I was like, who the fuck is this person? And I went to find out that she has her own podcast with her co-host Kiki, and I checked them out on YouTube, and I've been locked in since. This is a sex podcast. If you're the kind of person that likes to hear it raw, dirty, and nasty, this is the podcast for you.
And something to help you if they do stress you out. Did you know it's also masturbation month? I will definitely.
How often do you think you masturbate?
A few times a week.
Oh, that's healthy.
Yeah.
I feel like Kiki, you do it every day. We talked about this
Pretty
before.
much.
Me and some friends went to the sex club in Atlanta for Halloween. As soon as we walk in, my boyfriend had never been before, but he was excited. As soon as we walk in, there's a man in a towel dripping in sweat. He's like, Medina!
Oh, no.
Comes and of course I gotta hug him because it was gonna be like...
Right.
They're basically talking about sex and everything, nasty sex. Yeah, all of that. Basically, that's what Cocktails is about. The third podcast is a marriage podcast, and it's called How Married Are You? And it's by Glenn and Yvette. These guys are a couple, black couple, and they talk about marriage. The podcast, what I noticed about this particular podcast is like it comes off as a kind of therapy for the couple themselves. So they have a way of talking to each other, of resolving things, and they're also Christians and they're heavy on God. and Christianity as well in their podcast, which is really, really good.
Is your desire to be married at the expense of everything else? And I don't think it is. First of all, I want to say that I'm very proud of you for not going through with that marriage. A lot of people would get to the engagement and like all the hoopla and then be too prideful or too scared to like call it off. And so for you to humble yourself enough to call off the engagement, I say round of applause. I think that was very wise.
They're a couple and they have 4 children. You would really, 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 really love their podcast if you're interested in marriage podcasts. The next podcast is an interview-based podcast, and this is Tea with Tay by Temison. He's a popular Instagrammer, YouTuber, and content creator, and he's a very, very hilarious worry boy. And he has this podcast called Tea with Tay, which is basically an interview-based podcast, and he has his friends come on the couch and they discuss whatever topic. It could be anything. It could be politics, it could be Christianity, it could be... I've really, really learned a lot from him because he has like sound minds, that he has really, really good people around him, and they are mostly interested in coming on his podcast and discussing about issues that concerns especially young people, because he's really, really young. I think he's like 27 or thereabouts.
There are some people that I know out there, I look at them, this person is this. I'm like, if this person just experiences Jesus, end of discussion.
So we're just on the streets chasing career. So his life on the other side is properly balanced.
I don't go audition tire for Ireland. She. This audition people, they crazy.
Very wicked.
Before they say audition, they don't know who they want to pick for the film.
He seems like someone that is so interested in learning more, so he uses this platform to not only educate himself but also educate his peers as well. So yeah, you should check out Tea with Tay podcast. It's really, really nice. It's available on YouTube, and most of his podcasts I just said are available on YouTube and other podcast platforms. And the last but not the least podcast is Neat and Nice podcast. This is a relationship based podcast, and I was on Instagram one day and I saw this handsome young man, and I followed him, checked out his page, followed him, so that he was in a relationship. He mostly puts out relationship content, working out, motivation and all that kind of thing. So I loved his content. One time I just stumbled on one clip that he had uploaded on his Instagram, and it was about a podcast that he was on, and I went to check it out only to find out that he, alongside 2 of his friends, have a podcast. 2 or 3 of his friends have a podcast that they're on, and they talk about like relationship, life and all of that, and it's so interesting and educative as well. They have guests on it. They bring in women and they bring in men as well to discuss on issues.
Yeah, what's more enjoyable than a woman's love and presence and intimacy? To me, nothing. That's the best.
How do you make that fair to the woman that you decide to say, hey, I'm only going to make one, but 5 years down the road, I say,
no, okay. And I'm like, look, I'm not looking for that right now, but I don't want to take that off the table.
Even the women out there in the Middle East, do you think that they're just suppressing that feeling? Or do they really just subscribe to that lifestyle?
Bro, the lifestyle is completely different there, right? When you get married, your woman is accounted, some of that is hers, half of that is hers.
Okay, so then, so how does it work if you're marrying 3 wives, all 3 of them get
You have to be a man of great resources.
I'm going to leave a link of each and every one of these podcasts in the description box for you guys to check them out, do your research, and find podcasts that cater to the topics that you are interested in. And leave the banger boys alone. Those ones that are so heavy and interested in clout chasing, they know the reason why they're doing it. Let them, just leave them. Do not give them any attention. Enjoy the ones that you enjoy, and yeah. Well, I guess that is it for now. My name is Mercyblack, and see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Share this video as well with your friends and family, and share this podcast as well with your friends and family. Get good and quality content from my sweet podcasters.